This is how we break the ice. Dynamite! Alright? Peace and love, y'all. My name is Smitty Coleon, aka the Don Dada, aka when King Tut talk. On the far right of me.
You already know, real easy. When I got it, y'all get it. When we get it, we good.
And this is It Ain't Personal, where we give you our opinions. We might hit you with some facts. We might just talk about you, but it ain't personal.
Never.
Today, very, very special guest.
Legendary.
If you see, you know this guy.
I don't got no catchphrase. Y'all should have told me, man.
I got you. Don't worry about that. I got you. Man of the people, culture curator, creative consultant, and a reformed shot-tie. Correy K, my brother. Peace, bro. How you doing, man? Appreciate you pulling up on us, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I feel like I've known you forever. I've been to so many of your parties.
So many, man.
So this is just like, this is normal.
Long, man. 20 plus years.
Wow.
20 plus years. I think this year makes 21 years I've been doing events professionally.
That's what's up, man.
We still look like we 18.
Facts. What's crazy is, it's like you came in the game like you Kobe.
Right.
Straight to it.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school. He was moving like LeBron. Kobe had to sit a few years. You know what I'm saying? LeBron came out killing.
Long time.
Definitely. You definitely set the party scene on fire.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. You get what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, definitely. I was gonna say to everyone watching, like, you wasn't outside if you don't know who this guy is.
No, for
real
real.
shit.
You
had to be outside.
We was kids, a lot of us sneaking outside to go to some of my events. Man.
Yep. Facts.
So, for the people out there, I know they know you for partying, but like, where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn. Family from Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was born here. I'm originally from Crown Heights, moved to Mill Basin, but Brooklyn is the home. Brooklyn is my life, my roots. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
man.
So what would you say, like, where you went to high school at?
Lafayette.
Nice. How was that?
Lafayette was like, it was like a mix of World War III and Def Comedy Jam in one, yo. Because it's like, you had to be, Laf was rough. Like, it had a bunch of Flatbush kids who went there, me included. And then right across the street was Marlboro Projects, a bunch of blood. So a lot of my friends was Crip. So going there every day was like, they hated us so much, man. We was fighting every single day. It was like hell just trying to get out to school to go to the bus or the train. But my inner group, our friends, we joked a lot. And I think that's what made me become, like, a lot of people don't know, like, I'm a funny person. Like, you know what I mean? We joked a lot in school. You had to have a tough skin in Lafayette.
Oh, that's a fact.
Had to have,
especially growing up in Brooklyn, period.
Yeah. So you had to be quick at your responses, and you just had to defend yourself, man, verbally.
Facts. And I'm sure that probably prepared you for life afterwards, for everything, right?
Yeah, for everything, bro.
Given the fact that you are in the public eye, you have a lot of people looking at you, criticizing you, complimenting you. Right. Like, how do you handle that pressure?
I mean, I used to take it on a lot, the negative comments, but I can't rejoice at the positive and be mad at the negative. Like, I gotta just take it all, and I can't let either or dictate how I move and what I do. So regardless if I get positive or negative comments, or, like, you know what I mean, I gotta still have an agenda. I gotta still move like nobody's seeing it, and that adds to the hustle. Like, that adds to that just getting out of high school hustle where nobody knows what you do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you get good compliments, you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That has happened to me a couple times in my life. I feel like everybody at some point has to just pinch themselves and be like, get back on it. You know what I mean? So I try not to let the compliments shift me, good or bad. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because the criticism, everything, it comes with it.
It comes with it.
I
I put myself out there in the public for a long time, so I gotta expect people to have criticism. And one thing I had to learn growing up, and it just happened, like, I'm 39 years old, is everybody ain't gonna like you. Everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just cater and grow with the people who genuinely fuck with you. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't gonna fuck with what you're doing, and that's just life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's like keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So when I feel like when you got your core base, And especially when you're going out there in a world that I feel like as soon as you come outside, it's a battle.
It's a battle.
So you need like your core base to be like super strong, super solid, and a great support team. And I think like sometimes what makes you thrive in the public, whether good or bad, is the fact that you could come home and you got like a nice
people who tell you the truth. That's why
Facts.
tell you the truth and support you no matter what. Even if you're wrong, the support is still there. Like I used to get, like I've done parties with, you know, hundreds of people, 1,000 people, and I would let one negative energy throw off my whole day. Like I'll be wanting a perfect environment. Like if one person is dissatisfied, that shit would throw off my whole day. And I had to realize, like, you can't please everybody, man. You go crazy trying to please everybody in life.
Nah, facts. That's one thing for me personally. I know with your events, like if your name is next to something, I know it's a certain level of presentation, certain level of service. You know, everybody putting on their best dress, you know, whether it's a black tie or just, you know, just like a regular party. Everybody's coming, you know, to the
tennis
nines.
skirt and Lacoste. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. Facts. Those were the days. I ain't gonna hold you. You see the flyers on the floor, you know that shit was popping. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
We used to take over KP. We used to go to every college, every high school, give out flyers, man. That's when. And we were successful back then. Successful in a sense where not really financially, because we didn't know what we had at that point, but just popular success. And we was outside every day, like the shit wasn't already doing good. Like we was really on the grind. And never settle. Sometimes I sit back and try to put myself back in that state of energy where it's like, imagine none of this is here. Like I'm acting like this is my first time doing something. And that I gotta apply that to anything I do. You know what I mean?
Nah, I get that. So you keep saying we. Who were like some of the people that you
were
starting off with?
I had a crew when we were starting, like Skip, somebody named Skip, somebody named Peanut, Ricky Blaze, my boy Shanti, Windsor. It was a whole crew. But you know, growing up, things happen. People getting careers and certain things, and life is still cool now. But me, I knew I wanted to do this from a kid. Like, and I wouldn't let nothing stop me from doing that. Like, you know what I mean? There were times where my mom would be like, you know, just get a job or just do this or just do that. I'm like, nah, I got to sacrifice for the bigger picture because this is what I want to do. This is my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Entertainment. And it's not just throwing parties. Like, that entertainment tree could go in has so many different branches on it. You know what I'm saying? And once you're creative, I feel like you could apply that to anything with music, film, media, anything, events.
Case in point, what you've done, because I know like you definitely took like from throwing parties to creating who you are today.
Yeah,
and we definitely gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man, definitely.
Yeah. So what was you know, I asked one more. So what's some of your earliest memories of going to parties? Some of your earliest memories,
when I started partying was like the glory times, man. Like it was genuine fun. Now it seems like people care more about the facade more than actually having fun. Like, you know, there's bottle service, there's the hookah, and there's like, you know, the music is up and down sometimes. Back then, we would just wanted to go out and have fun. And there were a lot of promoters who really cared about people having fun. And it was like, we used to literally go out 7 days a week, 6-7 days a week. That's, you know, granted before kids, before careers, before all of that. But it was more fun back then to me. And granted, those variables I just said, like with the kids and the career, they probably played a part in, we were carefree. Like we just, you know, we had no responsibilities, nothing to worry about. So, and just the clubs back then too, especially like in the city, certain parts of Brooklyn, the clubs were better back then too. Like, you know what I mean? Right now, New York nightlife seems just like more loungy. Like girls would sometimes rather go to a lounge or just chill and, you know, and like I said, I'm 39, so my age group probably would rather do that. So the part where I have to excel is trying to create experiences for that. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of, you can't keep, like Kevin Hart had a dope interview in the Breakfast Club the other day, basically speaking about like elevation. Like you can't, at some point, you're going to reach your pinnacle when you've been doing something for so long. At some point, people are going to be like, you know what, I could miss this Correy K event, I'll go to the next one. Or there's somebody else who's doing something, let me give them a try. So rebranding is very important with anything. Like when you've been doing something so long, you got to rebrand and try to reach out to a different market, a different circuit, and just do things different, man.
So, hold on. What's crazy is so when we talk about the glory days, can you give me like one of your memories of like a basement party back in the days?
Basement party. There's people in my high school that used to throw basement parties in like buildings and like house basements and shit like that. And yo, we used to have so much fun, man. Sneaking out the crib and it was like even the music back then was just different, man. So
Well, you could dance and catch a dub.
Yeah, and that's what it was all about. Getting
dubs. Like how much dubs you got?
My friends is counting like
how many dubs you got?
How many dubs you got? So we hiked to go to school on Monday. Like yo, that shit was mad fun, and everybody talking about it, and that's kind of what birthed Shot to Correy, because I always been into fashion and stuff like that, right? So when the people in high school used to plan these parties, say their parents going away or something like that, and they planned something, girls used to look forward to see what I was gonna wear and stuff like that. And is Correy coming? Like I always had this thing where it was like I was good at bringing people together. I didn't know that was a gift or a talent back then, but people used to always want to be around me. And after certain parties where I catch dubs or I dress a certain way, people would ask me, "Yo, why don't you throw one? Why don't you have something? Why don't y'all, you know?" And that kind of birthed it. Like you know what I mean? I said, "Fuck it, why not?" We did. Like my senior year, I think we started throwing some events, and then from then it just went crazy.
Maybe your first experience of throwing your own party, some of the struggles with it, some of the lessons you learned from it. If you even remember, I know you've thrown so many parties.
My first event was in this place called the Elks Plaza. I don't know if
Elks. Yeah, what's that? Fulton, right?
Yeah.
So, hell yeah.
You been there, right?
That's where Flex and used to be at, right? Yeah.
So, granted, I used to be a dancer on Flex too, so we knew a lot of people in high school. So me and my crew got together. This is before I met the crew. Not met, but this is before I started with the crew that we did Lacoste with. So shout out to Cassandra Sohini. We started throwing parties at the Elks Plaza, and the lesson I learned was just being prepared for anything. You know, damn near every party we threw at the Elks Plaza got shut down because of lack of security, like over promoting it, too many people, like just no structure, and like we was just doing it to doing it. We didn't know the business side of it, and like certain things you had to do. We thought it just open the door and just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So then we started the Lacoste party, and I always wanted to do something sexy and upscale for our people. Like I used to look up to guys like Diddy and the celebrity parties, and I used to be like, "Yo, we could do that. I want to do stuff like that and bring it to the hood.
Yeah,
And
for
let
us.
people experience shit like that." So at that time, I don't know how the Lacoste thing started. I think it's because Lacoste was just popping at that time, and we wanted to do like a preppy party. So, and what's crazy is back then that's when the marketing started and the creativity. We did the first Lacoste party, and I was like, "Yo, why don't we go to the Lacoste store and try to see if they'll support this?" And what's crazy, they did. The Lacoste store on Fifth Ave. They didn't give no financial support or anything, but they allowed us to do the whole photo shoot there.
Oh,
we
that's
did the photo
fire.
shoot in the window of the Lacoste store.
Crazy. Yeah, that shit was fire.
Yeah.
I had like a little video for it. Yeah, Instagram was popping back then. Oh my God, that would have been viral.
It would have been crazy. Yeah. So from back then, we knew we had a bigger vision.
Yeah.
So we did it in this place called The Rock. Like you said, you was there. That was my first big party in The Rock. And The Rock was a place where teenagers couldn't even get in. I wasn't even 21 when we first did this party. So we had to fight with the owner. And the owner's like, he's looking at me like I'm a kid. I was a kid. He's like, "Yo, what can you do here that these adults are not doing? Like, how could you be able to pack this place and adults are not packing it?" I was like, "Yo, just give me a chance." It was a cheap rental. We did it. We couldn't sell no liquor. And at 10 o'clock, I was home. And at 10 o'clock, somebody called me and said the doors are shut down. So I'm like, "Damn, cops came? Like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Something wrong with the club?" It was like, "Nah, no more people could fit inside."
Damn.
This is
He ain't lying.
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
He ain't
I
lying.
was like, "Nah, like we on to something here."
Yeah.
And my thing is, I always want to give people a different experience. The Rock was a place you only heard about. Like your uncles went there, or your parents maybe. No kids were allowed to go in there. So we were the first ones to do a big party in The Rock for teenagers.
Yeah.
And then we did a few there. We moved to the Arc. The Arc was another adult club that kids couldn't really get into. So at that time, I think I'm like 21, and then it just skyrocketed, man. Like from there, it just went crazy.
So this is just so you got to pick rock or the art. Which one you going with?
I would say the rock, man, because that's where it started. That's where it started.
Always gotta
The rock.
go
If it wasn't no rock, it would have been no art.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was it.
That's where everything started. So I would always say the rock.
I ain't gonna hold you. My fondest memory of the rock. Yo, shout out to my brother. Shout out Mac D. I'll never forget that day. Like, it was crazy. Me and him, like, bagged the same girl that night.
Yeah.
She actually thought we was, like, twins and shit.
Oh,
Two
shit.
light-skinned niggas with brains. I'll never forget. But I swear to God, like, I remember looking up at the stage because there was, like, a lot of commotion going on at that stage because y'all had a stage at the rock.
Yeah.
And then I just look up and I remember seeing you like, yo, you just crying. But I'm just like, damn, this nigga's crying. But, like, why you crying? Like, this party fire. Like, this party's crazy.
That. Yeah, I remember that. It was a more emotional thing of joy. Seeing the crowd there, seeing the people there, like my mother was there, and one thing about my mom, she's like my number one supporter right now. But back then, you're 19 years old, you tell your mom you want to promote parties.
Yeah, she's like, what?
And my mother's a nurse.
Yeah.
She's like,
go to school.
Be a teacher. Yeah, be a lawyer, go to school.
Yeah.
She didn't believe, so her coming there was like the stamp on it. Like, if my mother down with this, there ain't nobody could tell me shit right now. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that's all I need. So that was more of an emotional cry.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you out there. Talk about tears of joy.
Yeah. Nah, there's nothing like having a vision, seeing it through, executing, and then like it coming to life. Yeah. That's a beautiful feeling, man.
And anytime I fall into like a dark place or a hard place where it's like I'm blocked creatively.
Yeah.
I remember those times where it's like, yo, it was a pumpkin seed. Like we didn't know this would have happened, and we went hard, put the idea out there, and it happened. So it's like anything you put your mind to, and you got faith, talk to God about it. It's gonna happen, bro.
Facts.
It's gonna happen as long as you put the work in.
That's a fact. What's crazy when you, and just to double back on what you said just a while ago, when you said you was probably like a teenager and like adults couldn't really pack out the rock.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy is I remember it was only one person around that time that was really killing the scene. The biggest adult party thrower at that time probably was Steely Bashman.
That's my big brother, my mentor, man. I learned a lot from Steely. Man.
So you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
I think from Steely, I think you took that mantle and you was the next one that ran with it, and I think you kind of like took it further than anybody expected. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So Steely being your brother, granted, what would you say you took from him, and how did you imply it for you to take it to the next level?
The biggest lesson I learned from Steely is just work ethic, man. Like, never get comfortable. Like, he arguably one of the best DJs coming out of Brooklyn, New York, and he never got comfortable. Like, he goes hard. It could be 2 people in a party, it could be 2 million, and he's playing the same way at each place. And Steely events used to be the biggest events in Brooklyn, like before I came around, and you would see Steely in the streets giving out flyers and going to every event and talking with people and just being a people person that he is. And that showed me like you can never be bigger than the game. You know what I mean? That's one lesson I learned from him, is you can never be bigger than the game. No matter how huge or successful your events are, this is where we started, at the ground. You know what I mean? So you always got to kind of give back and find your place there, just to win the people over and remind them that this is why you fell in love with me. Yeah. Now, a lot of promoters don't do that, but that's my core value. Like, even in my events, I'll have a section for like my peoples or whatever, but I'm walking around the event, making sure everybody good, pouring girls drinks. Like, I really care about this shit. Like,
that goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. It
does.
And people remember shit like that. Yep.
Facts.
Yep.
You also mentioned growing, evolving. So of course, initially you were known as Shots Out Correy. So where did that change spark to change your name or to go as Correy K?
Well, the reason I got the name, shout out to my boy Sean, he used to work in Pulse in Kings Plaza. He gave me the name Shots Out Correy because I used to dress like this back then, like, you know,
that's a fact.
Fitted clothes, Prada.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Between Pulse and H&M, y'all niggas put them niggas on the map. You heard?
That's a fact.
Cause yo,
I remember when H&M started, yo.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Well, you know why y'all niggas was in Post, man. I was working at Sears, bro. We ran into each other plenty of times. I just don't remember. I was working at Sears, and I worked at McDonald's and shit.
Oh yeah.
I worked in the McDonald's and
McDonald's every day after school.
Yeah. Trust me.
Yeah. Sean gave me the name because of how I dress. Now, granted, I think the movie Shotters came out a little bit after that. So there's a lot of people who associated me with being that, like a murderer or some type of shit. So I tried to get.
Wait,
That's
why?
what comes with their name.
Why?
That was
It's
because
the
the
name,
Shotter,
the movie, you already know.
when you were Shotter,
Yeah,
historically,
they thought you was a gunman.
Yeah, exactly. They think you a gunman or fucking selling drugs or some shit.
Yeah.
So that's what they thought. So one day, one of my boys, shout out to my boy Prince from Showcase. He's older than me, so he did a lot of parties in the cities, and they were getting a lot of sponsorships from liquor companies and different companies. So that's when I first learned about sponsorships, and I'm like, yo, me, I'm the type of person, I'm not emailing nobody. Granted, I have to do it sometimes, but I'd rather pull up to your office and be like, yo, I'm so-and-so. And I thought about it, like, if I pull up to this office and say my name is Shata Corey, they might look at me like, perception is everything.
Right.
First impressions is everything. And they may judge me because of that name. So I'm like, yo, why not just switch up my name? And at that point, that's when the idea started for me to do a black tie event for my birthday. So I'm like, yo, I need to rebrand myself again. Well, rebrand myself for the first time and just go as that. Like, just call myself my name.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Did you end up getting any pushback, or was your people around you?
Nah,
with
they
it?
at first, it was more pushback when I associated it with the event. Granted, we 22, 23 years old, and you telling somebody to throw on a suit or to dress up to an event, and it's like the only time I put on a suit is for a funeral or a prom or some shit. So
that church.
Or church. Yeah. So that transition was a little difficult, more with the guys.
Yeah.
But after a while, it became like the staple. Like, once you see a Correy K event in Black Excellence, you gotta I see the excitement with certain guys, and I see a lot of guys change the way they dress and change the way they move after they come to Black Excellence. Like, a lot of guys I know right now met their wives in Black Excellence. They got certain jobs because of Black Excellence. And I never, when you told me that when I walked in today, like, yo, you a legend, and you said, yo, you changed the way people dress. I never really looked at it like that until a few years ago. And a few people started telling me, like, yo, I dress this way because of you. A lot of events, people dress up because of you. Like, I never like to pat myself in the back and shit like that, but you know what I mean? You can't deny the flowers, man.
Yeah, you gotta smell them, man. You
Facts.
gotta smell them, bro.
Facts. And the reason why I say you a legend, because I feel like you've been consistent. A lot of people that started with you, and I ain't here to do that. You can name a few.
Yeah, definitely.
But they're no longer here. So, and mind you, what also made you a legend, the fact that not only did you continue, you elevated. You grew and you changed. So it's like as we sit here through this interview, we could go any which way with you. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that just shows your growth, the way you expanded. And at the same time, I just feel like that's an inspiration for somebody that's younger looking up. And they'll probably just see Correy K when they're meeting Correy K for the first time, and they'll see you in this element. But when they could go back and they be like, oh shit, he was shot to Correy before, you get what I'm saying? They could relate. Now they relate into the shot to Correy part because they probably just idolizing you more like the mature part of you. But when they see oh, he was once what I was doing, you get what I'm saying? That's what makes it more appealing. But if we just stuck in this one where they just remember you for being young and all that other shit, like, nah, because you do got to get to the point where you elevate. And I'm happy that you brought up the Kevin Hart interview. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like when people watch interviews, you got to watch interviews with intentions.
Right.
You got to have intentions to learn something, gravitate, or actually pull something in to use it to push forward. So for you to actually take that in and that part stuck out with you, that's just an embodiment of what you've been doing.
Thank you,
and
bro.
that's why you relate with that part of the interview.
Yeah. You gotta elevate in life, because a lot of times you get stuck, like, and you get complacent, you get comfortable. You know what I mean? So it's just more of a challenging yourself now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Could I really do this? Like, all them dreams that's sitting in your head, at some point you gotta, manifest it and make it come to life. And a lot of times you gotta get uncomfortable. Like, I read a quote the other day that said, the magic happens when you go left and everybody else goes right. You know what I mean? I had to do that so many times in my career where people just didn't understand what I was doing at first. Like, I gotta wear a suit to a party? Hell no. Like, I ain't doing that. And now look, I got dudes out there coming Black Excellence looking better than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And niggas, no, they trying though.
They trying. They trying. Corey, don't do that. Don't do that. Son, Corey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, you set the standard.
Yeah, you gotta set the standard. So it's all about like, you know, what's next. Like, and that's what I've been pondering with for the last couple of years. It's like, you know, what's next? What could I do next? Everybody's came right again. So now it's at the point where, all right, boom, I gotta go left now again. Like, you know what I mean? Create another road.
Yeah.
They got something for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then go do that 4Z.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so hold on. One question. In 2025, what is Black Excellence to you?
Black Excellence in 2025 is togetherness. That's the one word I could say Black Excellence means to me now is togetherness. Like, we gotta come together and try to build things as a Black community. Like, there's so many creatives out here who are scared to work with other people because they feel like there could only be one king, could only be one boss, or there could only be, you know, one prince.
Yeah.
It's not wrong with being a prince. It's not wrong with being a king. It's not wrong with helping somebody out with their dreams. Like, you may be a great content creator. Maybe I'm not the best. If I hire you, there's nothing wrong with doing that. We all work it together for the bigger picture. And I feel like we got to put the ego aside, man. And that's what stops a lot of greatness from happening is the ego. A lot of two great people should be able to work together in the same space and not feel like he's going to outshine me, I'm going to outshine him.
Yeah.
We're working on this one thing. Once this one thing blows up, we both eating. We both getting that shine from it. We both creating new platforms and new revenue streams. So it shouldn't even be an ego thing. So my thing that I'm pushing now is just togetherness, man. Like, let's get together and really create magic and really do big things. Because you may know a lot of important people in that circle. I know a lot of important people in this circle. If we come together now, can you just imagine, like, you know what I mean, what would happen?
Up the network.
It's like, would you rather have 100% of $10,000 or 10% of $10 million? It's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think a lot of people think about the bigger picture.
Yeah. Facts.
That, you know what's crazy? That you saying that just reminds me of my two favorite quotes ever. Is I got I think I said this in one of my raps, but I forgot who I got it from. But I think it was probably my mom's. Maybe she like, it's too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think it's like my other line that I came up with myself when I was just like, yo, I fall in line, but I still know how to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know how to fall in
That's
line,
a fact.
and they feel like falling in line is kind of like, you know, they got to take a backseat to somebody else.
Yeah, that's not
But you can fall in line, but still stand out while falling in line. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like when you, that togetherness that you want to bring, I feel like as long as you keep on pushing that, people will gravitate towards that.
Yeah, they will.
And I feel like we gotta stay on that part. And it's all about what you speak about and what you manifest.
Yeah.
I don't really like entertaining certain conversations. He don't like entertaining certain conversations.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll call this nigga with some shit sometimes. This nigga get quiet on the phone. I'll be like, he probably don't his bullshit.
It's not on a certain frequency.
Yeah,
but because we got a certain type of relationship, I could pick up on that. And his frequency would tell me like, yo, bro, you gotta relax. You gotta chill. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right, we back. So Corey, you know, once again, I appreciate you pulling up, man.
I appreciate
you know, honored
me
to.
up and thinking about me, man.
Yeah.
A blessing, man.
What? He hit me. He was just like, yo, son, I think we got Correy K. I said, what? Hold on. What's going on here? Hold on. You heard? That's a whole legend right there.
It never gets old, like, just that feeling that, like, people want to interview me and shit like that. Shit still kind of bugs me out a little bit, like, yo. And my girl always tells me, like, yo, you a star. Like, you gotta, like, really see yourself like that. But it's still kind of, still like a bug out feeling, man. And I appreciate it, man.
You know what I think it might be? I think that in periods of transition, we kind of, like, forget. Because I think, like, when we in that mode of, like, when you moving Correy K, you doing your thing, you got a lot going on. Like, it feels like I'm doing a lot. But then when we going through that transition phase where we gotta like chill, relax, and figure out the next step, we kind of start to feel like we're being complacent. So we kind of like forget, but it's not being complacent. I think that's just the time to just chill, because in order to get to the next level, you gotta hit a reset.
Yeah, and life, what I learned in life is that you have to do that sometimes. Like, sometimes you try to control every situation, you're running fast, you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to that inner voice. You're not listening to God. And sometimes God will break down your whole world just to build it back up the way and that's what happened in my life in the last 5 months. Like I could say this was some of the toughest times in my life creatively. But I just felt like nothing was hitting. It just wasn't coming to me like the way you used to and stuff like that. And I just had to reset. Like once I reset and just started appreciating what's in front of me, everything started coming back little by little. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, just to speak back on the Black excellence, I know you mentioned in the past that you got that from Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Or you heard you first heard that term from Hov. You actually met him.
Yeah. Many times.
Many times. So what's that experience like? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
I remember that was your first interview. You said that in your first interview ever.
Yeah.
I remember that. You did an interview
with
another guy.
I mentioned that. Yeah.
I remember you said you got it from the album. You was listening.
From the Watch Your Throne
album. Yeah, the Watch Your Throne album.
Actually, my partner, Skip, my old partner, he thought of it. Like, I heard the song before, but we were trying to figure out Murder to Excellence on Watch Your Throne, where he's at the end, they say Black Excellence, opulence, decadence. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were trying to come up with a name for the event. And Skip was like, yo, call it Black Excellence. And I'm like, yo, shit, this shit really do fit. Like, you know what I mean? And we started it before Diddy. Before Diddy was saying it.
You heard?
Yeah. But then you also got acknowledged by Diddy as well.
Yeah. So that was a good experience. Just coming up, no matter what's going on right now, we all looked up to certain individuals. Like, either the music, the way they dress, the girls, the
contribution.
The contribution.
Yeah. You could never take that away. Like, you know,
you got the same birthday as that guy.
Yeah, no matter what's going on right now, you can't take away from what. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know?
Nah, that's a fact.
Corey missed that.
No,
he got the same birthday as who?
He got the same birthday as me.
Oh,
he loves saying that as if like
what is he?
I'm not insinuating.
He's a Scorpio, November 4th.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Scorpios, you heard?
I'm right after.
Yeah, okay.
Sag.
Oh,
12-19. Yeah.
Wow.
12-19.
My mom's a 12-18.
Word?
You be giving hell.
Sag.
My brother's a Sag. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I was gonna ask you your experience being around and meeting Hov.
It was kind of, the first few times, it was kind of like mind blowing, because it's like you're seeing these individuals on like TV and you respecting what they do. More Hov, I would say more than Diddy is the business acumen and just that mysteriousness of him. So just being around, it's like you got to be a fly on the wall, like, and just listen and hear the conversation, just see how they move and just try to take away as much as you could while you in the room. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt my first time going to the only time, they haven't done it in a few years, the Rock Nation
brunch.
That shit was next level, man. Because from the first time they did it, there's a lot of people who were close to me said, and I told them, like, I'm going to make it to that room. Like, I want to be in that room and just take in that energy and talk to people and build connects. And I like the decor and certain shit about it. And I'm like, yo, whatever I learned from there, I want to bring back to the hood. That's how I always moved. And it was a dope experience, man.
Yeah,
very dope.
That's what's up.
So they're kind of. I remember watching this interview where Gilly was just like he wasn't too fond of the Rock Nation brunch, right?
Yeah, I see that.
And what's crazy is, I was going to ask you that question, but what to me it seems like is that you basically doing what Cat Williams do. He's in these rooms getting a bunch of information. He's coming back and he's reporting and he's telling us. What you're doing is you're getting a whole bunch of information, decor, and certain type of excellence and lifestyle, and then you bringing it back to the hood.
Right.
And I could appreciate that because it's not like you're exploiting anything. You're actually trying to elevate. You get what I'm
being
saying?
in this game for a long time, like I had one foot in the hood and always had one foot in the industry. You know, obviously I see a lot. Like, I'm cool with a lot of artists. Like, you see certain shit, but at the end of the day, these people are human. Like, they ain't doing nothing different from what we would do, or they ain't made mistakes different than what we would do. But my thing is, I build real friendships. So for me to break that bond and break that friendship just to put online or tell people what I seen or certain things, that's corny. Like, you know what I mean? And not even celebrities. If I come here and I see you crying because your girl did something and I go outside and be like, yo, them niggas his girl, that's corny. Like, I wouldn't do that with anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just respecting the friendship, respecting that bond. And that's one thing I learned with being in certain rooms, is just respecting, like, you know what I mean?
would you say, not even would you say, can you elaborate more on letting people know how important relationship is more important than the money?
Relationships is everything, man. I wouldn't be who I am right now if it wasn't for certain relationships with certain people. And what people don't understand is going after the money all the time is thinking short. That's short term thinking.
Yeah.
Building relationships could make you 20 times more than what you would have made just by having a certain relationship with somebody. Just by that person making another phone call and say, yo, I got this dude named Correy. He's an event planner. I know you want to invest 100 million into this project and this and this and that, or simple as that. Like it happened to me so many times with a lot of the sponsorships I've got, a lot of the clubs I've gotten, a lot of the artists I booked. Like it's all relationships, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
And my thing, I try to treat, like I said, I even with me the other day, I'm very cool with Swiss Beats manager, and I had a convo with her, and I told her it's hard for me to ask certain people of stature for favors because I don't want them thinking that, you know, I'm here to use them or certain things. And she basically said, if these people really value you as a friend, they're not even gonna look at it like that. They want to help you.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm
it's gonna
saying?
be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I try to build genuine relationships with no matter who it is. You could be a celebrity. You could be like when I go in clubs, I'm tipping and I do an event. I'm tipping the doorman. I'm tipping the person who wipes the floor. I'm getting cool with everybody. I treat everybody like family, and that's what got me this far. Another reason that got me this far. Like nobody's above anybody.
Treat the janitor like the CEO.
No.
Facts.
It's a fact.
Facts. That's a quote. Keep that shit up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Why don't you tell us about a no in your experience that you had to turn into a yes?
Getting a sponsorship from Ciroc. When Ciroc was Ciroc, I tried so hard to one just be down with that movement because I wanted the liquor brand. Like it just made sense. Like Ciroc is the hottest liquor out right now. I want to be a part of that movement, and I done heard no so many times because you know it's budget and you know we don't have space on the team for this and we can't do this, and I just kept being consistent with it. I was even doing videos where I was even getting paid for Ciroc. Like I do a lot of creative videos for my events, and I'm just doing it and just showing them like, yo, this is what I could do, and just doing it for myself. Like perception is everything. They got a term that say fake it till you make it, and people say that's a bad thing. It's actually a great thing because mentally you're putting yourself there. Mentally, you're not really faking it. It's like I'm putting myself in that environment, and eventually it's gonna come to light. So you're not really faking it. You're just putting yourself where you want to be. If every day you go outside and you're faking acting like a millionaire, you're not going on a train. You're taking an Uber. You're calling a driver. Yo, eventually that shit is gonna manifest.
It becomes a
So
reality.
you're not faking it until you're making it. You're just doing what you want to be in the future. You know what I mean?
And I think that's gonna set the tone on how people treat you.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing you how you treat yourself.
They definitely.
So if you're treating yourself a certain way, then they know that they can't treat you nothing less than
Definitely. So going back to that question, it's like I was a pest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like, this is what I'm doing. I see y'all putting a lot of people on. I know I could do this. I know what I bring to the table, and eventually they, you know, like Diddy caught wind of certain shit that I was doing, and they started fuck with me, just like with Duce, just like with Ace of Spade. Like just the other day for my birthday, Jay-Z gave me a book, his the Book of Hove book, the exclusive copy. It's like a bigger copy. He signed it, and it was just like, yo, I appreciate your contribution. It's just the little things like that. Like, it taught me to never stop, keep going. Like no matter who. I used to be like, if I put up a video and only one person see it or one person comment, like it discouraged me. But you know, one thing I learned in this business is you never know who's watching. Never know who's watching, yo.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings, you know what I mean? Humble beginnings. Especially when you transition into something new. I think when it come down to social media, that's why I said if social media was around, like when y'all really started partying, like, oh my God.
Y'all would have been viral.
Y'all niggas would have been viral. Y'all niggas would have been ahead. Y'all would have been like one of the gatekeepers, you know what I'm saying, to this joint.
Definitely been crazy.
But I feel like, yo, watching your transition, you know, I do see that when you on your Instagram, you try to do the lives, you ask a lot of questions, you try to like get a lot of engagement from the people that you have followed.
That's what started me, and that's what is gonna keep me going.
Facts. What happens when you ask a question and the community doesn't agree with you? I forgot which post you had a post. I don't know which post.
A lot of people didn't agree when I put up something about Kendrick Lamar after the Super Bowl. Now
I agreed with you.
Yeah, I put up that I feel the main reason that he got on that stage was because of the Drake beef. Nobody would ever know. Only Jay-Z and the NFL and those people know who they book and who. But what came out of that was we've never seen that before.
Okay.
Besides Jay-Z and Nas beef, and even back then, streams and social media wasn't popping. So we've never seen this big of a beef before. It's up there with Biggie and Tupac. Granted, they both died, so that's what made it.
It's up there without the violence.
Yeah, it's up there. So would he have been on that stage without that beef? Maybe, because Kendrick has done a lot even without that beef. He has an excellent career, but I feel like that kind of.
Yeah, I talk to this guy right here.
Yeah, I feel like it added a little. I feel like it added a little, you know. Like, yeah, that's because at the end of the day, it's a business, bro. Like, you know, they put Kendrick up there. A lot of people are going to watch. It was the biggest watched Super Bowl ever. And I feel like a lot of people watched it. A lot of people knew Kendrick was a pro-black person before all this Drake beef.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody thought he would have went up there and did that. 99% of the people thought he would have went up there and it would have been about Drake. So I feel like that's probably part of the reason why so many people watch it.
Tuned in.
Yeah. And it doesn't take away anything from Kendrick's career because he has a Pulitzer Prize. He has 17 Grammys. He already his career is solidified.
He's solidified.
He's a god already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just what y'all think? Do y'all feel like the Drake thing kind of pushed it a little more?
Yeah.
Because he probably would have did the Super Bowl anyway at some point. But,
well, he touched it a couple years ago.
Feature,
but that was like a song or two. Yeah. But, I think this definitely played a part and propelled him to on that stage for sure. He could have been in the conversation.
He probably that was. Definitely was. I don't know how much in advance they plan these things because what if somebody had look at Usher?
Right.
Usher could have did the Super Bowl years ago, but last year, what was it? 2 years ago? Last year, the nigga had an amazing run. Yeah. So it's like,
why not?
Did they know that this would have happened? Probably not. So if somebody's having an amazing run, they'd probably be like,
hold on. So what do you say about the Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg joint? Because
you see, like that,
and that was in L.A. So that's why it seems like because it was in L.A.
It made sense for them.
It made sense. But they did have Mary J on there. Mary J is not from L.A. So that's where I said they
see with them, I feel like they probably planned that because none of those people on that stage had like an explosive year. They're just all legends.
They're all legacy acts.
This Kendrick shit, he had a great year, so it just made sense. And what will make even more sense, they put Drake on next year. Yeah. If they put Drake on next year, that'll be the biggest Super Bowl ever.
If I'm Drake,
Super Bowl halftime show ever.
If I'm Drake, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, why not? It's good business.
Not saying he need the money, but it'll be
okay. Vince McMahon.
Yeah. What's your take on that? Like, let's say in Drake's situation, saying, you know what, this is a good business move. Let me do this, as compared to being emotional and not.
What would have been the biggest move ever is if Drake would have pulled up this year. That shit would have been the biggest thing in hip hop ever. Yeah. If Drake would have pulled up this year and both of their streams would have went crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel it'll be the same effect as if he takes it next year, if they allow him to do it. And I feel like he could put his ego aside because none of this beef got nothing to do with the NFL. The NFL is just a business. They put Kendrick on business. There's no emotion behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think if they give him an opportunity, he should do it. He'll trump Kendrick's numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, he do?
Nah, he would. only because of, I mean, commercially, Drake is a big artist. So regardless of what, he'll probably get more numbers.
I heard Kendrick's #1 in hip hop right now.
Because of the obvious. You know what I mean? But Drake is Drake. We can't.
No, listen. I'm Team OVO over here. If you
watch, this guy bleeds OVO. Don't let him fool you.
A lot of songs Drake put out, I don't agree with because it's so ABC 1, 2, 3 shit. But Drake could really rap. We can't. All the
can't
time
take that away from him.
Take care. He could really rap, and Drake is the biggest. I mean, not right now, but for all this Kendrick stuff, Drake's the biggest
artist in the world,
and most consistent for the last 15 years.
So, listen, I got the owl on the back of my chest.
Like we can't take away and I get why Kendrick don't really. You see, and I just had this conversation in my cigar shop 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
If Drake would just be who he is, I don't think it would be an issue. But the fact that he tried to play street sometimes, and then sometimes Kendrick kind of pulled his call, like, bro, you ain't. Like the best hip hop came from struggle. You've never rapped about that.
Yeah.
He's done very well without rapping about struggle.
About it.
You know what I mean? So just be who the fuck you are. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You think Drake tries to play gangster sometimes?
When somebody when somebody tests him, he try to, Drake roll with a lot of Jamaican niggas and
You know how it go.
He be doing.
He with the shot to them.
Yeah, he be doing a lot sometimes. Like, you know what I
Mob
mean?
ties.
So he with popcorn, son.
My bro, you was on Degrassi. Like, you never had a hard life. So
but I went popcorn and them. I'm in Tivoli.
Yeah,
I'm in Tivoli Gardens.
Just be you. And I think that's what Kendrick don't respect.
Okay.
From Drake, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because Drake was himself for so many years, one time it just started going left, man.
Mob ties, like mob
around
ties.
then, I would say so.
Wait. Jay Prince had let's be fair. Jay Prince had his hand in his career since the beginning. Jay Prince is the one that brung him to Wayne.
Yeah.
So I gotta think that, and
when you know you got a nigga like Jay Prince behind you, you kind of
you gonna move like that. But I think Drake was more so musically. I think, which I do believe Drake became mob ties Drake when he started separating himself from Young Money.
Mm-hmm.
When he started focusing on just like OVO, him and 40 was locking in, and it was just like, yeah, I'm signed to Young Money, but it's an OVO thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when we started getting the hoodies with the owl Drake. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of niggas in the elevator.
And a lot of real rappers, they respect that. Like,
wait, no, they were, because first of all, Ross, Future, all these niggas start doing features with
dudes. These dudes are commercial rappers, all of them. Like, they rap about street shit, but at the end of the day, they put out commercial shit because that's where the money at. I'm talking about real rappers, like Mos Def. Certain, like, Mos Def had an interview last year, I think, sometime.
Called him Target, right?
And that's what he is. I mean, he is. He's making shit for the commercial people to go in Z100.
Jay did the same thing.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
everybody.
Jay said, "Future Lee, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I did 5 million.
Yeah,
right.
I ain't been rhyming since Common Sense.
Yeah. Like every rapper has done it. Like Diddy went to Biggie in the early '90s and said, "Yo, your shit is too street. I gotta connect you with this with the
Target type music."
Yeah, they made Juicy, which was a sample from a soul song, and that shit kind of put Biggie in a commercial. It's like, if you want to make money, this is what you gotta do, bro. It is what it is, and most 90% of the rappers are in this to make money. You gotta feed your family. So, you know what I mean? A lot of rappers have done well playing both sides. Drake, Jay-Z. Kendrick has a lot of commercial shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody
he gets away with it. He gets away with it.
Yeah, everybody has done it. So nobody can shit on Drake because he's doing it.
I think
he just did it the biggest.
Right. Facts. And that's just some hating shit. They be hating.
Right,
can we agree that they be hating on Drake?
Yeah, they do, man.
Yeah, Drake gets a lot of hate.
He's a soft, light-skinned dude who had a good upbringing, who is very nice at rapping, bro.
That says a lot. That says, that says about our community and culture. We got some trauma to heal.
Crabs in a barrel shit, man.
Yeah, we gotta get over that mentality. Just because he ain't from where we from, just appreciate what the nigga is.
The only one stain is, did he rap? Did he write a lot of his best raps?
Listen,
there's no way to really. We wouldn't know. I wouldn't say everybody got ghostwriters.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like even Jay-Z, he has influences. I come with the idea now. I think you should switch that word. Everybody has.
Right.
Jay-Z never had a ghostwriter though. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, what did Drake rap on Take Care? Did he even? He did. Did he even? Was that him? Like, you know what I'm saying?
This only came about. The accusation of Drake and his ghostwriting came about with
one of his best projects.
Facts, and I ain't gonna lie to you, because it is my favorite project.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. If you're reading this, it's too late.
Oh, okay.
If you really think about it, if when niggas say Drake don't got a classic, that's the reason why I say Drake don't have a classic. To me, as far as like what niggas want, because if you reading this, it's too late. Doesn't have the asterisk behind it that Quentin Miller did give him some songs. Quentin Miller gave him some songs to put on the album, and I think because Quentin probably couldn't deliver it like Drake, Drake delivered it better.
Right.
And then once Drake did that, it kind of like stained him, and that gave niggas like Drama, who
like I said, these niggas got their own little beef that they got. I think Drama, like feeling how he felt, talks to Meek. Meek leaks that in a certain way, and then it creates the walks that Drake doesn't really write in his rap. When it's just like, yo, honestly, it's like this nigga gave me a couple songs. I'm gonna pay you for this joint. It goes with what I do.
Flow,
my flow. I'm gonna go do this. But if you think about
so
it,
you
Drake,
don't think he ever really had a ghostwriter?
no, because Drake writes for other people. Kanye, first of all, Kanye wants Drake to write everything for him, and Kanye is like niggas' favorite artist. You get what I'm saying? Drake wrote "Unthinkable" for Alicia Keys. So if you talking about his pen, I believe Drake has a pen.
Right.
But somebody came during a time where it's just like, damn, I got these joints.
Right.
And I do
they
feel
will work
like
better for you than me.
Yes.
Right.
But because that's one of Drake's, to me, Drake's toughest album, beginning to end. Like I still listen to that joint.
Yeah.
But it has that label there. It has that stigma.
And I think people just be waiting for a reason to hate on somebody.
Yeah,
I go through it all the time. It's just they want any little thing to be like, oh yeah, Corey did that, or Corey had an investor. All right, take away all his work.
Yeah.
Like,
This don't mean anything. The hard work doesn't mean anything.
What you mean? He had to work to get the investor.
Right. So it's like, you know what I mean? People just be wanting any little thing. And that's what Drake is going through right now.
And what's crazy, people don't realize too, like it's hard work building relationships. Like building relationships to get somebody to trust you.
To give you money.
Like to give you money.
Right.
Like, boy, I gotta sit there and numbers, dinners, conversation, lunch, all types of shit you gotta do just for you to feel comfortable. For you to later on maybe give me some bread.
Right.
Like I'm already investing too much time, money.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
These lunch days ain't free. And that's the part that they don't see. But they just see
don't see the hard work.
Nah. They just see that, oh, you got this relationship. Oh, he threw the bag behind you. Oh, you a lucky ass nigga.
Right.
Do you know what I had to do? And I ain't talking about selling my ass.
Right.
Because niggas ain't doing that. But I'm talking about building, cultivating a real relationship to get somebody to trust you. So to get a man to part with their money.
Yeah.
And good luck.
And granted, a lot of people started in this business with investors, not like party promoting, but just entertainment. Like sometimes you may have the vision, but you don't have the money to back that vision. And that's just the way the world is. You got rich people who still use investors and stuff like that. So it's just, you know what I mean? That's the way the shit is. It's just crab in a barrel mentality, man.
Facts.
That's it.